Crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. This week has been crazy, to be honest. I already know. We've already talked about that already. I already made a video on that already. The whole Typhlosion news and everything. I've already talked about this already. Yeah. Yeah. Not the leaks? Oh. Who's we? Anyways, I wanted to talk about the, apparently Assassin's Creed Infinity has more details, and good old Lucky here, has, some of the information about this, and it kind of looks like it's not doing very well. You know? Because remember, right? I think, because we saw the video or so specifically that, specifically that, whatchamacallit, that Ubisoft made a live stream or so, and they're trying to release 10 Assassin's Creed games in a span of like 5 years or so. So I'm gonna be honest with you, crazy in my personal opinion, trying to make 2 Assassin's Creed games in 1 year for 5 years. So in my personal opinion, I don't think they're gonna do well. I really doubt that they're gonna last that long unless they're really, really good, but I really doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here, you know?
Let's do a palate cleanser, okay? Let's talk about something I'm not sold on, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. With any game, feature, launcher, anything, to me, the chief question should be, for one, who wants this? And paired with that, do our customers want this? Like, those should be the 2 primary concerns whenever you do anything. Oh, you want to add a multiplayer mode. Do our players want this? If so, great. If not, who does want this? And will it cause friction with our core fan base?
True.
You know, if you're thinking, hey, we could add NFTs to our games. Okay, well, who wants that? Do our fans want that? The core gamers? No? Okay, well, who does want it? Crypto bros. Okay, not many of them are buying these games, so but maybe they'll buy this. Will it cause damage to the core fan base? Yes. Okay, so maybe it's not worth doing. But you should at the very least constantly be asking yourself, who does this appeal to? Does this help us or hurt us with our core fan base and customer base? And then evaluate whether it's worth pursuing at that point. One of the upcoming features for Assassin's Creed is what's being called sort of colloquially as the Animus Hub, but internally it seems like the leaks are saying it's called Infinity. It's really vague. No one really knows what this looks like, so I want to be clear at the outset.
Oh, this is the multiplayer. This is the multiplayer Assassin's Creed game.
That this is all rumors, speculation, leaks, this and that. This could change totally. It could be way worse than this. It could be way better than this, or they could cancel it and walk away. You never really know.
True.
But at the very least, this conversation we're having hopefully can help us get a grasp of what the goals are, and if it is something that we do not like, which, spoiler alert, whoops, wrong button. Spoiler alert, I think this is going to be something that not many of us are like thrilled by. Maybe that feedback can get back to the right people within Ubisoft and they can make more informed choices. Whether they, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to cancel it based off of videos on YouTube or clips or streams or whatever, but I think at the very least, if it can lead them to changing their tactics with it a little bit, that could be beneficial. So we'll say this. As always, I've said before, these things should be carefully considered because a poorly implemented monetization scheme can do way more brand damage than good. You know, I don't think there's been a...
Yep.
I guess maybe one of you guys in chat could tell me, can you think of a time where there's been a monetization scheme introduced into a game that has helped it get better? Maybe CSGO with like the skin lottery thing, or the ability to sell skins like that. Maybe that could be an example. Star Citizen. I mean, it has helped them make the game and build the game, you know, with the 700 something million they've raised. But I don't think these things typically help. It's something you do once you have the fan base and the customers, and then you go in there and you can sell additional.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the old PvP games for Assassin's Creed, they were okay, but I never really liked them personally. I just felt like I just kind of want the single player a lot more compared to the PvP aspect of Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I just never really liked them.
Stuff on the side.
I played them, but I wasn't really a
I
huge
think
fan of them.
Something that should be done after you have the fan base and you have the customers already set up. But Joe Raptor, our dear friend, diehard fan of Dragon Ball, as we all know, he has said, here's everything we know about the hub. It's formally called AC Infinity. Every new AC game will launch from this hub, including mainline titles, remakes, but also the upcoming multiplayer projects and potentially smaller experiences.
They're doing a fucking Call of Duty. Oh my fucking. Oh, dude, they're doing a Call of Duty thing, man. They're literally doing what Call of Duty is doing, where they have like the hub thing and they have all the other games. They had like Black Ops. What is it? Black Ops Cold War. They had Black Ops World War, and then they had like. Oh my god, no way, dude. Honestly.
So my expectation for this, just based off of
this
what
is
I've
terrible.
seen, I don't have it installed.
This is
I don't
terrible.
have 500 gigs to spare. But you know the COD HQ app?
Yeah.
Some of you will, I'm
there
sure,
you go,
but,
yeah.
Others might not if you don't play Call of Duty.
It actually broke. So when Activision, oh hell no, another COD thing and 2K games. Remember, cause like they were updating, I think like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, or it was a different one. I don't remember which one. They broke the other Call of Duties that were in the Call of Duty hub, because the reason why is because you had all the games all in one single place, and if you updated one of the games, the other shit broke in the other games. And it just made it worse. It just made the experience way worse. Instead of having its own separate thing, its own separate launcher, its own separate hub, you know. No, they decided to put it all together and completely fucking broke everything. The problem is like when you update something, something else actually breaks. So, what did you expect?
But maybe this will show it. Yeah, so kind of like this. So you boot up the game. So imagine this is Assassin's Creed Infinity.
Oh god.
They will have like separate launchers for booting into Shadows.
No.
They'll have a separate launcher for booting into the multiplayer game. Then a separate launcher for booting into maybe just a collection of soundtracks.
This is
that
terrible.
You have,
this is actually terrible.
That have come as part of the collector's editions or something. So they'll have one app that launches kind of everything. That's the idea in concept. Beyond that, it's going to try and integrate those different games into the hub so everything's kind of connected. As Joe Raptor continues on, past games could also be integrated into the hub. So you want to play Unity? It's also there. It's all tied together. The new dedicated home for the modern day story. So if you think back to like the modern day sequences in like AC Unity, where you're walking through the studio, the Animus studio and that type of thing, it could be something like that. It's not clear if it's going to be a launcher like I just showed you, where you just press a button and go into the game, or if it's going to have some sort of gameplay element where there's like you design your own character for the modern day storyline in a character creator, and then you walk around an in-game like hub, and then you walk physically through portals that boot into the game that you're interested in playing. It's not clear if that's what they're doing or if it's just a launcher. It's still up in the air. Modern day storyline progresses separately from AC Shadows and other upcoming titles, so no modern day story inside the games moving forward. Personally, I know this might trigger some diehard AC fans. I prefer this. I've never been interested in the modern day stuff since like AC3, I think was the last time I paid attention to it. I'm just not that interested. I just don't find it that compelling. I play these games to
No, it's a great idea with absolutely no unintended consequences. You're right, Natsuko, you're right. There definitely is no consequence. Modern day story, fuck that. Who wants that? Hey man, but you can put yourself in the game, you know? You can put yourself in the game, you know? Like, remember how they put that one operator or so from Rainbow Six Siege who is like, who's paraplegic or so, that can't walk and everything, you know? They put a wheelchair person in a video game, so you know, you can probably put yourself, if you're a person in a wheelchair, you can probably put yourself in the game, you know? Because it's for modern days, you know?
Adventures within times and places long since lost to history. I don't really play them to watch Layla gossip about the inner workings of Abstergo. You know, that's just not what I do. So anyway, I like this. We should be the main story character, with the Animus Hub being our DNA Explorer on our desktop. So that would imply that it's like a physical space. You walk around, you boot into the game, into the Infinity whatever hub. And then from there, you can launch games from your desktop, or you go through doorways to launch into those experiences, or you lay down into the Animus.
I don't like this so far, to be honest.
Shadows. Not the worst idea. I
Don't defend this.
I see this as potentially just layers of, to use Yves Guillemot's words against him, I view this kind of like
Ubi slowly killing AC, hopefully Splinter Cell rise from the dead. You're asking too much for that. So it's like a Hoyle Play launcher code? No, it's worse. It's basically like they want you to create a character for you to be like in the anime. It's like basically like, you know how like there's like those social hub kind of games or so, right? They want you to do something like that specifically, and you get to load into a game or so instead of just clicking on the game and just loading the game automatically. No, you have to enter in this hub place in order for you to play the Assassin's Creed games. And they're gonna have all of the Assassin's Creed games in this like hub area. And like, if the worst part about it, right, like I said specifically, because this could probably end up the same thing with Assassin's Creed, since all the games are on the same place, if one of the games gets updated, but it gets updated incorrectly, right? You know, let's say Assassin's Creed Shadow has an update, right? And Assassin's Creed Shadow fixes the problem, but then they can break the older games in that same hub because they're all in the same ecosystem, you know? There's a story in there apparently for the modern, there's a modern story for the modern audiences. So there is like sort of like a quote unquote campaign for the hub, but we all know for a fact it's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be good.
Like just added layers of friction, where typically if I want to boot into a game, like I just want to boot, I launch the game here,
Yep.
A little bit of time passes while it's loading,
Yep.
and then I'm playing the game.
Yep.
Boom, I'm playing the game.
Yep.
With this, it sounds
Yep.
like you're gonna boot the game, you're gonna load, you end up in the Animus Hub,
Yep.
or the AC Infinity Hub, you walk over to the desktop, you boot open the game, and then it loads a little bit more, and then you start playing the game that you wanted to play. And so just all this time was spent doing something else.
Yep.
Now, you
That
might be
too.
wondering, why would they need this time? What are they hoping to do with this time? Why would they do that? I think you already know. I think you already know.
Hey man, hey Dubstep. I gave an idea about a sci-fi Assassin's Creed. I'm just saying, you know.
We'll get there in just a second. We'll get there in just a second. Okay. The Animus Hub should allow for more crossover stories like Odyssey and Valhalla, ones we saw at the end of 2021. Yeah, no spoilers, but there were crossovers. Footage shown to Insider Gaming shows users immediately picking up where they left off in game once launching from the hub, eliminating boot up screens. Well, if you're booting into the hub, there still is a boot in screen. It's just you're booting into a hub and then loading straight into the game, but maybe. Rumors suggest that there is an item shop called The Exchange in which you can buy daily and weekly cosmetics for Nawe and Yasuke.
Of course. Of course. there's an in-game shop where there's dailies and weekly buying stuff, cosmetics for the Assassin's Creed Shadows and any new future Assassin's Creed installment. The modern day story is not even for modern audience, it's just bad writing at this point. Apparently modern means being shit at literature now, it seems. Hey man, I can make better stories than them, in my personal opinion.
Item shop called The Exchange, in which you can buy daily and weekly cosmetics for Nawe and Yasuke. I wonder what they're hoping to utilize this little bit of time for. What are they hoping that you're gonna do while this period of time is going out? Maybe force you to walk past a little in-game shop that has some skins available. One feature should be called Synchronization, and it provides access to projects, seemingly mini battle passes with a narrative that rewards you with cosmetics.
And they're adding a battle pass to this as well. Interesting.
Plan was always to launch with Assassin's Creed Shadows, so that is likely now delayed as well to February 14th of 2025.
Holy shit, that's Valentine's Day. What the fuck? Wow, dude. I forgot. I literally forgot Valentine's Day is on the 14th. So, you know, if you really, really, really hate somebody, you know, you could probably give them to them for Valentine's Day, you know?
Jonathan, who's a French YouTuber with a good track record, heard about a potential subscription tied to this that gives access to old AC games. He's unsure about new ones, future DLC, and one exclusive skin / item per month, where you will sign up for—
Wait, what? Heard about a potential subscription tied to this that gives access to old Assassin's Creed games. He ensures about new ones, future DLC, and one exclusive skin / item per month. Holy shit, dude. You have a battle pass. You have an in-game shop. You have a freaking subscription fee on top of that too. Wow, that is they're really making you not really own any Assassin's Creed games. They literally don't want you to own your games whatsoever. Like, they really do not want you to own your games at all. Dude, that is...
For the AC Infinity subscription for $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever. And then you get skins, probably in-game credits and stuff that you can spend on cosmetics and all of that. Now, as I've said,
dude,
at the top of this, whenever you do anything, you gotta ask, what do the gamers get out of this, and who wants this? Do Assassin's Creed fans want a launcher?
If Cole makes an AC Modern's Day AC story, you would have to reboot the whole franchise. It's that bad. I would probably have to at this point, you know? But it would be fucking good, in my personal opinion. Missing loot boxes? Hey man, don't give him any ideas, Dark. Don't give him any ideas.
Like, real world meta hub for the modern day story where they can have all of their games collected in one spot. I'm gonna give that a maybe. Okay, maybe. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it plays like, but maybe that is cool. Maybe it's something where they can tie different things in, where, like, you've played all the Assassin's Creed games in the past. Here you can boot into all of them together. All of your save files are saved and backed up in one spot, regardless of platform. There's cool things they could do with it. So maybe. There are other things, though, that
this is going to be bad.
With. It sounds like there's going to be some period of time between when you boot into the game and when you're able to get into the actual specific video.
He doesn't know, and he hasn't talked about that some of the Call of Duty games broke when the newer Call of Duty, because they had this hub thing, right, where they had all the Call of Duty games, well, the most recent ones anyways, in a single place, right? And then when they updated the specific new Call of Duty, they broke the old ones on that same launcher hub thing, you know? And they could not play it for a while. It took them a while for them to fix the issue. So, Yeah, this is definitely going to be pretty bad in my personal opinion. Watch them retract just too quietly, add it in without anyone knowing no, they're gonna release this shit. They're gonna definitely release this shit. They're not gonna retract this tape. This has been in development for a while, so anti-consumer, discriminatory, and fabricating history. What else Ubisoft is pulling? I don't know. And the game like the crew, so say goodbye to all your skins. That is also true because they can easily, when they shut down, if they ever shut this down, all of the skins that you earned in that game are gone and you can't use them anymore because it was part of the hub, and you have to play your games off of Steam or anywhere else that you have it saved on, you know? So you basically lose everything.
Play, in this case, let's say Shadows. And we all know that this period of time, when you are in the hub and then, you know, you're loading and all that, this period right here, this chunk represents prime time for cash money extraction. With an in-game store, you walk right past. With these synchronizations that provide you access to projects, which are like mini battle passes. What that looks like is probably like you assassinate 5 targets from the shadows. You go and you discover 10 points of interest, and then you complete those and you unlock a new cosmetic. So they show you those, and then the in-game store and all that. It's all ways to slow the player down just enough to look at the advertising for the in-game shop where they can spend money, and then let them get into the game. It's not the first time they've done stuff like this. Like the main menus of most of the Assassin's Creed games from the last few years have advertising on the screen. If there's a new DLC, it'll show you the new DLC or expansion. They'll show you the skins on the loading screen when you press start. So this is not new. This is just making it interactive, which I'm sure they've found increases the likelihood of you spending money in it. So I want to be clear, this is not a novel concept. Many games do this, not just AC, but many, like Call of Duty does it all the time too. So this is not a new idea, but that does not mean that I have to like it, okay? So I've asked, like, what is the benefit to me as the player? What do I get from this approach? And I'm still not really sure beyond cosmetics that are unlocked through mini battle passes. I don't understand what the benefit to me as the player is. If there are cool things like save synchronization across devices and stuff like that, tell me. That's a cool feature to have. If there's added things where it's like, I honestly don't know. I don't know what
if they force us to use this hub for playing old AC games in World War III on Ubi.
Features that could be tied in here. But if there's something really solid or really good here that helps the player and gives the player something, that should be communicated. But I think it's pretty interesting that from the leaks, it seems like there really is nothing given to the player or nothing that makes this worth the player's time other than skins and the ability to buy more things in an interactive way, I guess, which it's not like, maybe it's not the worst way to sell stuff. Like you're selling stuff in an interactive way versus a more traditional just screen where you buy it. But I would rather just be able to play the game that I bought and not be stressed with it. Remember I said earlier in the one of the previous segments about Dragon Age, I was like, hey, they're on their back foot after 2 flops. Lots of negativity surrounding BioWare. So what are they doing? They're launching Steam without a launcher. They're launching, a native app for it. No DRM day one because they want to make sure you can play the game without any effect to the performance based on your internet connection or anything like that. They are making sure that, they don't have any plans for expansions or DLC. They're just focused on the game right now, just like Larian did with Baldur's Gate. They're trying to do all these pro-consumer things. But this, to me,
this is anti-consumer.
Like a DRM on steroids, where it needs to be connected to the internet for you to boot up to synchronize with the in-game store.
Oh, that's also true. I forgot about that. So if you have all of these Assassin's Creed games, like even the old ones and the new ones and everything, you can't play them offline. You have to be connected online in order for you to play it because you have to go into the hub. And then from the hub, you have to load the game in the hub itself in order for you to play these games. So you need internet to play this. Like it forces you to play this for the
for whatever is being sold that week. I cannot imagine they would have the balls to do always online for it, but that's
no
quite
way,
possible,
dude.
is that this would be an always online thing.
Dude, if they actually do always online, dude, that's it, dude. There's no way, dude. Ubisoft is just...
Where if you want to boot into Shadows, you have to boot into the AC Infinity launcher, which has to be connected to the internet. Otherwise, you can't get into the game. Like, I guarantee you, if this is how this works, if these leaks are to be believed, and this is actually how it works, where you boot in, and then there's some period of time before you can actually get into the game, I guarantee you, within a few days, there will be mods, and all they do is they skip this whole part. It'll be a mod where when you press launch on the game, it just boots straight into the game. Because again, who wants this? Like, what is the benefit to me of booting through this launcher? I don't know. And to be fair, they have not revealed it. There might be some benefit we're not aware of that is not leaked. That's possible. I don't know what that would be. I'm normally pretty good at thinking of ideas for this stuff or seeing where this could go, but I can't think of a feature that would be present here where I'd be like, oh, that's why I'm in. I can't think of a reason to do it. It just seems like something built to try and extract more money out of me every time I try to play the game. Eventually you get used to it. You would start to tune this out and you would just start to ignore it, and your brain would just not pay that much attention when you walk over to the little desktop, like he says, and boot into the game. You'd start to just tune it out and get used to it. But
so you're telling me, right, we should be the main story character, with the Animus Hub being our DNA explorer on a desktop. So you're saying it's gonna pop up a virtual desktop for you to play, and the games are gonna be there, and you can play the Assassin's Creed games there? They can control which games they are renting to you. Always online for an offline game? Fuck that shit. I was legit going to try AC Shadows, but after this hub stuff, it's a hell no from me now. Oh, dude, that's crazy, dude. I don't know. I don't even know if I even want to pick it up for like a funny video now because of this. I don't know, to be honest, because that's just a waste of money, to be honest, because they can easily pull the plug and everything.
The game, you'd start to just tune it out and get used to it. But again, just because I get used to it does not mean that I have to like it. But what I find particularly interesting about all this is with the delay of Shadows, and therefore the delay of Infinity, what are the odds that they're making changes to this? I don't have any insider info, to be very clear, okay? I don't have any insider info, so I don't want you to think that I do. But I would not be surprised at all if, as part of this delay, they are reevaluating the monetization schemes for this. I would...
I don't know about that one. I don't know if they're reevaluating on that situation. I don't know.
Not be surprised if they are like removing or at least delaying this subscription, because I guarantee you, with Shadows right now being where it is and the public perception of Ubisoft being where it is, you guys cannot afford to get greedy right now. I'm telling you, for the love of God, you cannot afford to do this. If this is true, and again, Jonathan has a pretty solid track record. I think he has contacts within Ubisoft corporate, honestly. But if this is true, and you guys, after all this crap with Shadows, try to launch a subscription service for a live service hub for these games, it's gonna go poorly. And I think that's why they have not revealed it yet, because they know that the blowback is going to be crazy. If you thought the blowback for Shadows was bad so far, just wait till they do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to rework some of this stuff to take bits of this out. You can add it in later. If the game is really good and you win gamers over based on the quality of Shadows, maybe you can get away with this a month after launch or 2 months after launch, when the rest of the gaming public has kind of moved on, except for the hardcore fans that have remained. Maybe then you can get away with it. But I swear to God, if you try to do this, it's going to go badly. As Joe Raptor says, worth noting, of course, is that the recent AC Shadows delay also has them dropping the Season Pass Ultimate Edition items, pre-order mission, Season Pass exclusive mission, etc., which could mean they are rethinking some of the rumored monetization aspects of the Animus Hub as well. These were at least at one point planned, according to trustworthy reporters. I can totally see them put some, if not all of these ideas on hold for now, focus on launch without roadblocks, and then slowly roll these less popular features out later. I agree that is the best way to handle this, because I think the odds of them...
Once they pull the plug for AC, say goodbye to all your AC games. You don't own any game, and they mean it. That's so true. Cause like I assume, like, right, let's say for a person who has like not played any of the older Assassin's Creed games, right? So, like, I assume you have to buy it, right? I assume you buy it through the Animus Hub, right? And it's all connected online and everything, right? Like, it has cloud computing for your saves and the data for the game and all that other stuff. So it's not physically on your computer. It's in this hub thing or so. So if they pull the plug on it because it's not doing well in sales and everything and they're losing money on it, right? That $60 that you spent on that Assassin's Creed game is down the fucking drain, you know? Because it's online and you don't have access to the Animus and you can't play any of these Assassin's Creed games anymore.
Great. Scrapping it and just walking away from all of this. Very, very low. I think most of this is already done. Again, the game was supposed to launch in what, like 3-4 weeks? Like, this is done. Whatever they're doing is done. They could cut some stuff out. They could cut some of this out, but I don't think they're just cutting out the Animus Hub. I think if they want the smoothest launch, they should probably try to launch the Animus Hub later. But like Joe Raptor said on our podcast, it's very likely that this is too far along. It's too tied in. So like you can't just
oh man,
this is how the game launches. There's no way around it. So I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated because I just, again, the balls the balls with all this to launch it like this would be amazing. It would be stunning.
Oh, this is
after
bad, dude.
Drama,
Dark sounding like a corporal. Always knew Dark was a heretic.
Like, yeah, there's an in-game subscription service. Then we have all these paid cosmetics day one and XP boosts and all that. Like, it would be so funny, but also a little tragic because it would just be, I think, the nail in the coffin for a lot of people with it. You see what's happening now with the discussion around, let me see if I can find it. The discussion around Dragon Age with the DRM stuff. Not having DRM is a fantastic move. And what are we seeing as a result? We're seeing people that are saying like, ooh, I'm really interested in buying the game now because of no DRM, because they took that out. I'm really optimistic. I'm really optimistic now that they've taken that out.
It sucks that this game is coming out on my anniversary. It really sucks.
It's really impressive.
They'll probably make a hub for Far Cry. You think so? That wouldn't be far-fetched actually if they did actually.
So
if this is successful and there's a lot of people playing it and people actually spending money in here in all of this stuff and everything, they're definitely gonna do a Far Cry 100%. They can also do things like, let's say we said the past Assassin's Creed games is better, so they pulled the plug for the past Assassin's Creed games, so you can only play modern Assassin's Creed games. Or they're doing a remaster and they pulled the plug on the OG versions. Oh, you're right. They could get rid of the older ones if they're remastering the old ones, so they can put them on the hub for the Animus Hub, and you have to rebuy them again. Holy shit, dude.
That now they're getting offered
crazy.
It's a little surreal. But this is the polar opposite. Because again, I don't know how this is supposed to benefit the player. This is like pretty much exclusively benefiting Ubisoft by you spending more money. And if there's ever a feature introduced into a game that offers no benefit to the player, but is purely built around milking the audience for more money, why would we be excited for that? Why would we be interested? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I just... The Animus Hub, we've talked about it for a year or two since it started leaking, and I've always said I just don't understand what the benefit is to the gamer. And I still
It doesn't
don't
benefit
know.
anybody.
There's been more and more leaks, and now, again, it was supposed to launch about a month from today, so it's done, but not a single leak has come out describing something where I'm like, ooh, that's cool. The only stuff I've heard about are like mini battle passes, in-game cosmetics with daily and weekly cosmetics available for sale. Like, I just don't understand how it helps. Oh, now you can tie your other AC games into it. So you can play those other AC games from one launcher and buy skins in that launcher that apply to all of those games. So that's the big benefit. Like, so the benefit is just me spending more money. Again, I don't see what the perk is. I don't see why I should be excited for this. And then other stuff with like subscription models and things. What they're effectively trying to do is they're trying to do what BGS has done, but in a different way. BGS has found a way to turn their single player games into live service games, which have creations and paid mods and then mini paid missions and DLC that you can buy all the time. That's what they want. And the way that Ubisoft is doing it
God
is
damn,
with
dude,
cosmetics
this is
that they
crazy.
provide, which to be fair are probably of a much higher quality than what you'd find in the creations
Demi.
shop. Will it make money? Almost certainly. Will core, like old school fans, be livid? Yeah. Will they feel betrayed? Yeah, I think so. I just don't think that this will help. So all of that to say, we'll keep an eye on it, but I still am at a loss for what the benefit is. And if you're trying to sell me something and you can't tell me why it would be useful to me, I don't think it's that compelling of an offering. If you offer me a car to buy and I'm like, why should I get this car? And you're like, well, because if you buy it, then I'll get paid for it. It's not a reason to buy it. Like, you should really buy this brand new car I have, because if you buy it, then I'll make money. Okay, but what will I get? Like, why?
Yeah, it's like basically me saying, it's like, oh, you guys should subscribe to my Twitch channel or so, because I get money, you know. But you get like, but then like I put like no emotes or anything like that, you know. It's just like I don't put any emotes, you know. I don't put any like animated emotes. You just like, oh, you know, if you give me you give me your, what is it, $5, right? I don't know how much it is or so. So it's like, oh, if you subscribe to my Twitch channel, you know, I get paid or so, you know, I get money, you know. But you guys don't get nothing in return.
Why should I buy the car? Well, because when you buy it, you'll transfer money through the internet to me into my wallet, and I will have more money than I had before you bought the car.
That's crazy.
It's like, okay, but again, like, I don't understand what the perk is, you know?
That's crazy.
Just, there's no point.
Don't you
I
have
hope
$5
personally in my heart of hearts that they're scraping a lot of this out and they are preparing
Don't you
for
have
a
$5?
revamp of it. I hope that they're not going to just do what's been leaked. I hope that they have a more pro-consumer
If you own the
approach to
previous
it.
Assassin's Creed games, you
Because I swear to God,
unlock
if
new
they try to
quest
do it this
lines.
way, it's-
Jeez.
They're going to have a bad time. I'll tell you what.
Dude, this is not looking good, dude. If they, oh man, dude, if all of this gets implemented into that Animus Hub thing, dude, they really, dude, Ubisoft really badly does not want you to own your games. Like, honestly, they really don't want you to own your games. They are really adamant about it, of you guys not owning your games. Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry games, dude. Or just in general, just any of the Assassin's Creed games. They really don't want you to own them. I think that is the most craziest thing I've ever heard so far. Like, honestly, all of these leaks so far for this weird Animus Hub thing, I'm like, who the fuck wants this? Who is asking for this at the end of the day? Like, nobody really wants this. We all want to boot up our Assassin's Creed game, play our Assassin's Creed game, and just kind of just play them, you know, just click one button, it launches, it loads, and then we play, and that's it, you know? God, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, to be honest. I just, yeah. Anyways, I kind of wanted to talk about this, about, what is it called? Assassin's Creed Infinity? Apparently that's what it's called, apparently. Assassin's Creed Infinity is what it's called. I guess because you can infinitely play all of your Assassin's Creed games, you know, in one single place. I bet you that's what they thought of or so when they were coming up in the boardroom or so for that specific name. Yeah, I don't like this so far of what I just heard right now. and I feel like something bad is gonna happen at the very end, you know? But that's just my opinion. You guys can, you guys can leave a comment or so. You guys, tell me what you guys specifically think about it. But for me personally, no thank you. No thank you, in my personal opinion. Assassin's Creed Infinity sounds like the most non-Assassin's Creed game ever. I think they're gonna make this a social hub so you can flex your NFT skins to other players. Man, if they add the NFT skins into this shit, dude, it's over, dude. It is over for this franchise and this company itself. But yeah, I don't even know if I even want to pick up Assassin's Creed Shadows, to be honest, because I just wanted to do it for the memes or so, just to make a video, like kind of like upload a video on the main channel about it. But I don't know if I want to do that now. I really don't know. It's just, I don't know if I'm willing to do that, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just have to see and wait when the hub comes out, I guess. Anyone's happy for the hub? Yeah, that's the end of the video. And peace.